Welcome to yet another edition of the Stats and Stacks podcast, where today we're going to do another NFL draft here. I know that last time we took a tight end early, which is something I don't generally do, but Kelsey's going as high as pick number 3 this year. So there's a lot of different draft strategies you can do. You can go QB early, which I also don't really recommend doing. But one of the most popular, most hipster, trendy things to do right now is to go zero RB, meaning you don't take any running backs until at least the 4th or 5th round. So we're going to go ahead, try out that strategy, see if we like the team or not. I personally think it's best to get the best running backs you can early and often. But sometimes being contrarian works out in your favor. You'll probably need some injuries along the way, but it is a strategy that can really pay off. So we're here to just see how the team looks as we try it out. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead over to that sleeper app, look at this draft here. Let's take a look. Let's start it up. So we have the 11th pick. Oh, ironic. That's what we had last time. We're looking here. We had CMC, Cook, Henry, Kamara off the board, usual. Saquon starting to rise again a little after hearing that he's practicing. Tyreek Hill already taken off the board. That's very, very interesting going before Zeke. Man, Zeke is going late. I don't expect Zeke to keep going around 8 or so after Hard Knocks. He's going to get a little bit of a push. Jonathan Taylor, someone that's been slipping in drafts with the Wentz injury, but hey, apparently the sleeper app does not care right now. Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones. I'm kind of shocked that Aaron Jones went before his teammate here that I for sure didn't think we were going to get. But if they're going to give us Davante Adams, who's my number 1 wide receiver over Tyreek Hill, at least for the next year, we all know that him and Rodgers are leaving. It's a one last hurrah, one last ride. So I'm just going to go ahead and capitalize and take Davante Adams here without hesitation. Again, a lot of him and Tyreek Hill are flip-flopping as the number 1 wide receiver. In my eyes, it's not even close. Davante Adams is like having a running back because he scores every game. So we're going to go ahead and take Davante here. After that went Eckler and then Kelsey. Kelsey never goes this late, but the right people are gone. I don't know about this order at all, but the correct people are gone. So at that juncture, again, we're going to go ahead and take, and we're doing zero RB. So I'm not even going to look at that. I'm just going to only look at receivers. And I guess I'm going to have to be a homer here and take the league leader in receiving yards last year, the Buffalo Bill himself, Stephon Diggs. But not a bad way to start here. Allen just kind of locks in on him. You have Hopkins, another receiver. Then you got the Joe Mixon effect, a good pick. Mahomes in second round is normal. Najee Harris is skyrocketing early second round now. Same thing with Gibson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I see that there. DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, Kittle. We have our second tight end. Dobbins, Ridley, who's actually like my number 3 wide receiver. Justin Jefferson, Terry McLaurin. Darren Waller in the 3rd round is questionable right now with this lingering injury. So make sure you're a little weary of what you're doing with Darren Waller. I wouldn't mind him in the 3rd round if it wasn't for this mysterious injury that no one's talking about. So be mindful of that. But the big 3 tight ends are gone. At this rate, I don't want to spend a 3rd round pick on Kyle Pitts or TJ Hawkinson or anything like that. So I am going back to receiver, and I am going to someone that gets 1,000 yards every single season. I'm just going to go in the exact order because this is how I would do it. Some people have Chris Godwin ahead of Mike Evans, but Mike Evans is, although he has some bust games, his boom games are legit, and he's my wide receiver 3. Davante and Diggs give me enough consistency to where I can throw Evans in there in the slot, or in the slot, in the flex. We have CD Lamb, another boomer bust, Chris Carson, and then here, as much as I want to take a running back, we're doing zero RB, so we have to take another receiver, or we can take a tight end or quarterback. Quarterbacks on the board: Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. Let's see here. I'm not going to look at tight end this early. I mean, I have 3 stud wide receivers. So at that juncture, I know all of them usually get hurt as long as it's not all at the same time. So really, we're looking at Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Robert Woods. In all honesty, I'm I like Julio here. I like Godwin, but we have Evans, so I don't want to take two receivers on the same team. Cooper, I like, but he's dealing with injury right now. Woods is the definition of consistency, but at that rate, you got to look at your team. And right now, I have Stephon Diggs as my wide receiver too. So if he's having a boom game, so is Josh Allen. So I am going to go ahead and take Josh Allen here only because I have Diggs on the team. And then we are looking at Woods and Henderson. I'm not big on Henderson. I know it's a split backfield, and he's not exactly a beacon of health. So I think him in the fourth round is I think it's a trap. I think you need to stay away from Darrell Henderson. In all honesty, Travis Etienne. I don't know what Urban Meyer's doing. He's trying to pretend like Trevor Lawrence isn't their starting quarterback. He's putting ETN listed as the third string running back. I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville. I'm staying away from that. And Jackson and Murray, good. I actually think I like Murray better as a quarterback than Josh Allen. He's actually my number one quarterback, Kyler Murray. However, I have Diggs, so I just had to stack it up. Tyler Lockett is a great pick in the fifth round. That dude is a sleeper. Jamar Chase, a lot of good potential and not a lot of volume there. We don't know what the volume's going to look like in Cincinnati. They have three talented receivers. All three of them could go off. So no idea what's going to happen there. Kenny Galladay is a camp string right now, so that's a little questionable, but understandable. And then Dak went. So at this rate, we're in the fifth round. It's time we start looking for some running backs because we need some help. Javonte Williams, I don't know what's going on with him and Melvin. James Robinson, don't know what's going on with ETN. He's all over the place. Chase Edmonds probably has the most talent here, but I don't know what's going on with him and James Conner. I see a lot of split backfields. The only one that's not in a split backfield here is, as gross as it is to say, is Mike Davis. He's someone I have a lot of stock of this year. Just solely on the fact that there's no one else in town. I mean, they're signing like Deontay Foreman and people like that are coming off injuries. So Mike Davis is going to be the guy. No one there is going to be able to take the job. It's just a matter if he gets hurt or and can stay healthy. So if he's getting all the volume, unfortunately, I'm going to go Mike Davis as my running back one. Then it leaves me with everyone we were just looking at. Oh, so many. I hate split backfields, and that's all we have. Javonte Williams, James Robinson split, Raheem Mostert split, Melvin Gordon split, Ronald Jones split. And then we have Damian Harris. Oh, God, that sounds gross to put him as my two. Trey Sermon split, Leonard Fournette split, David Johnson is buried on the depth chart. They said he's going to be the Duke Johnson role of last year. So Zach Moss split, Michael Carter. I think it's a little early to pull the trigger on Michael Carter. So either we could go Damian Harris because he'll probably get all the goal line backs. But we have Cam who's going to siphon some of that goal line work. I guess I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take James Robinson here just because I believe out of all the running backs in Jacksonville, he's the one that would get the goal line carries. So if we're going zero RB at this point, we're just looking for touchdowns. So I am going to go James Robinson here. All right. And then we have Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins. There's so much value at wide receiver in these later rounds. That's the only problem with going zero RB right now because there's so many. I mean, we're in the sixth round here, seventh round, and we're seeing just wide receivers that I like. I mean, in all honesty, Robbie Anderson, I love Robbie Anderson this year. All right, so we're back on the clock with pretty much all of the same running backs here. This is where you just kind of stockpile them. I'm actually going to go a little lower here. I was looking at Zach Moss, but again, we have Diggs and Allen, so you don't want too much exposure of one team. I've heard some really bad reports about David Johnson, so you got to stay away. Michael Carter is getting all of the love and all the hype right now. He is a good player, but it's a poor offense. So again, we're looking to score here if we're going zero RB. So we're looking at injury or score. I really normally would pick AJ Dillon here, but we also have Devontae Adams. There's a lot of doubling up here. Eesh. So at this rate, Kenyon Drake is split. I'm not a fan of having multiple people on the same team. However, at this circumstance, we need to look for upside. Aaron Jones is not ever playing a full season. He just can't do it. And there's not really anyone else behind AJ Dillon. So I know we have Devontae Adams, but at the same time, I had a season where I had Zeke and I had Amari Cooper. It was the year Cooper got traded to Dallas, so it wasn't intentional. And I always stayed away from two people on the same team. But at those two positions, it worked out just fine. So we'll take that gamble again, and we'll take AJ Dillon here. Just looking for upside. All it takes is one injury, and that dude is a monster. All right. And then at that point, we are in the 8th round. I will go ahead. I'll take upside here. I was looking at Tony Pollard, in all honesty. Or you know what I'm going to do? You know what? We're going to get a little crazy. First, let's take a little look at tight end, see if there's anything worthwhile there yet. Nope. Not seeing much I like. Or that I feel the need to pull the trigger on right now. So we're going to head back over to running back. And there's actually, right now, I was thinking about pulling a Tony Pollard in case Zeke, I mean, he never gets hurt, and I feel like it's eventually going to catch up with him. But right now there's a lot of swift injury problems and things like that. So in all honesty, with the way the backfield looks right now and the amount of injuries piling up in Detroit, Jamal Williams might be the last man standing. So at least get me by the first few weeks here, a week or two. And then you have Latavius Murray in case Kamara gets hurt. However, I don't trust that offense at all right now. So I'm going to go against the grain and take Jamal Williams here. So in our running back room, we have Mike Davis, James Robinson, AJ Dillon, Jamal Williams, and that is gross. Our receivers are stacked. I mean, we got Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Josh Allen. We'll probably need, let's see, how many more rounds are there? 5. We'll need a tight end soon here, but not too soon. I'm not super concerned about tight end. So all of the same running backs are still on the board. No one wants these middle round running backs. So I'm deciding between these people, and they're all still there. So next up, you're really kind of banking. It's really, really poor to bank on injury history. But at the same time, I mean, there's not really much else I can do here. I'm either looking at Gus Edwards or Alexander Madison. If Cook gets hurt, Madison's going to explode. If Gus Edwards could have value even without a JK injury. I was trying to see, I was looking for Xavier. We'll come back to that. If he's there, he's there. If he's not, he's not. So we'll take Gus Edwards just because he'll have some standalone value. We have way too many backups, and he is also a backup, but he has some standalone value as well. All right. And then we will go ahead. You know what? Let's see. I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to go all the way down here to Xavier Jones with the Rams. I don't think Darrell Henderson's getting all the work. This is definitely who he's going to be splitting it with. In addition, Darrell Henderson gets hurt every single year. So if he gets hurt, then there's only one man left. So I am going to take Xavier Jones here in the 10th round. Gosh, I'm not sure about going 0 RB. I stockpiled them. At this point, we're just going to have to let it ride here. And we're going to take a peek back at wide receiver, a peek back at tight end. Hunter Henry hurt. And that's why we took a look here. So Henry Ruggs went, Devontae Parker, McCole Hardman. Irv Smith is going to be sneaky good this year. So at this point, someone else that's going to be sneaky good, that's no longer sneaky because everyone's talking about him currently. Adam Troutman. There's nothing left at the Saints when it comes to just being a pass catcher. Michael Thomas hurt, Marquez Callaway, Traquan Smith hurt. There's nothing there. Literally, their top 3 receivers are all hurt. So At this point, we're going to go ahead and take Adam Troutman just because he's a warm body there. If Jameis wins the job, he's going to want to throw, so he's got to throw somewhere. So we have our tight end. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 rounds left. So at this point, I'm going to actually go back to receiver and pick up someone I've been picking up in every single draft. And his name is Marvin Jones. I'm scared he's going to go off in draft boards after preseason week 1 because Trevor Lawrence just kind of hyper targeted him and just stared him down the whole time. He is the wide receiver 1 on that team. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take him there. I'll probably take one more receiver here. And then go to your traditional tight end and kicker. Or actually, this might be a no kicker league, in all honesty. I think you have an extra flex spot here. Irregardless, we're going to take a receiver here. And probably looking slot-wise right now, just for the chance of explosion. We have Paris Campbell, who can't stay on the field. We have Terrence Marshall, a rookie. Then we have St. Brown, who I really, really believe in all honesty. I think he's going to win the slot job. And you look at Jared Goff at quarterback, and he loved throwing to the slot. That was his bread and butter. You look at the Woods and Cup game, they both were kind of interchangeable in the slot. And whoever was in the slot is the one that was going off. So if Goff is going to look at your tight end and slot the whole time, I'll go ahead. I'll take a shot on St. Brown. And then we're going to go ahead and I'll save. Defense is just a throwaway. Whoever is left at defense and has an easy week 1 matchup is who I take. And I'll just stream a defense until maybe eventually I find one I stick with, but I'm real big on streaming defenses, so I can care less. So at that rate, I'm going to take anything, whatever's best available. Take one more peek over at these running backs because I am struggling there. Darrington Evans in case Henry got hurt. I guess at this point, is that James White? James White is a pass catching back. I believe it's a half point PPR here. So it's either probably Terrence Marshall or James White. I'll go ahead. I'll take the shot on Terrence Marshall. Why not? See what the rookie can do. I don't know which way. Sam Darnold did like Jamison Crowder a ton. If Terrence Marshall's going to be in the slot, maybe there's a chance he goes off. I know Robbie's there. I know DJ's there. But they're generally outside guys. So if Terrence Marshall's in the slot, there's, fingers crossed. And then at this rate, I do have to pick a defense here. I don't really have a choice. Ooh, Brian Edwards would have been nice. I messed that up. So defense-wise, I don't remember the week 1 schedule again. I haven't really looked at it in a while. But I would generally just auto-pick the Colts here, but I don't trust them without Wentz. They're going to be on the field a ton. So I'll probably end up taking the Dolphins or Bears. It would depend on who they play. I'll just be cool. I'll take the Bears. Why not? All right. So that is the draft. Looking at it here, at quarterback, we have Josh Allen. At receiver, we have Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Mike Evans. We have Marvin Jones, St. Brown, and Terrence Marshall. At running back, God bless us, we have Mike Davis, James Robinson, A.J. Dillon, Jamal Williams, Gus Edwards, Xavier Jones. Tight end, we have Andrew Troutman. And the defense, we have the Bears. It's not an absolutely terrible team. I do think the most value in the draft this year is wide receiver in the middle rounds. So going heavy on wide receiver early does kind of put you in a little bit of a pickle. Mike Davis saves us being a bell cow back in the 5th round. That's super nice. James Robinson, people are scared of, but he might end up being sneaky good this year. And AJ Dillon is someone I have a ton of stock in, just in case. Again, Aaron Jones gets hurt for like 6 games every single year. If he does that, there's no Jamal Williams there. It is just AJ Dillon, and I like that a lot. So all in all, we were able to piece it together. It's an okay team. Probably not. The only way this team wins a championship is injury. You need Aaron Jones to get hurt at the right time. You need Deontay Swift to get hurt DeAndre Swift to get hurt at the right time. You need Mike Davis to stay healthy. It's a lot of injuries when it comes to this team, so it'll be interesting. But all in all, don't hate it, don't love it. But next strategy, we'll probably just do a normal draft next time, how we would generally draft. So hopefully, go ahead and go on that sleeper app, do as many as you physically can because it's draft season. So I'm hype, you're hype. Let's get this thing started.